Mars entering Scorpio. Woo. This is very interesting. Things are going to get spicy. September 22nd at 3:54 a.m. Eastern Time. This date should feel familiar to many of you because September 22nd is also the day that Sun enters Libra. In other words, a little less than 12 hours later, 10 to 11 hours later, we're going to be entering a new season, which is also happening the day after an eclipse, which is happening a couple days after Mercury changed signs, Venus changed signs. So we have this sequence of events. So everybody get ready because so much is happening. Mars represents action, motivation, drive, passion. So unlike Venus, which we were talking about before, Venus is like, oh, like let's get along, let's enjoy ourselves, let's connect with each other, let's create. And Mars is like, let's go do things. It could be impulsive. That's the low vibrational side. It is your motivation. So Venus is providing flow and support for things that you want to do. Mars is providing the fire in your belly to get it done, to initiate something, to take action. Very, very different energies. Even though they both can support you getting things done, Mars is really what popped into my head is the speeding train that is like helping you move forward. So very, very important to note here is that Mars actually rules Scorpio. And whenever a planet moves into a sign that it rules, it means it's really high functioning. It's elated to be there. It is overjoyed. So when we have Scorpio, which represents emotional depth, truth, and deception. So it's a truth seeker, but it also can bend the truth at the same time because it understands the psyche. It's a very psychological sign. Because it's the water piece, it's connected, it's intuitive, but it's very strategic. So when you blend intuition with strategy, we have like understanding of the psyche and moving through minefields. So that is the energy of Scorpio. So Mars will be in Scorpio from the 22nd of September through November 4th. And that is because on average, Mars is in a sign for around 5 weeks. So we have Mercury's 3, Venus is 4, Mars is around 5. So even though all of these ingresses will be happening like back to back to back, like only a few days apart, they're still going to be staggered as they enter the next sign afterwards. None of them are going to be retrograding. Well, Mercury will be retrograding later, but none of them are going to be retrograding right this second. So they're just going to keep moving forward and it won't be an issue, but Mercury will be retrograding later. So the last time for historical reference, if you want to look back on how this transit may impact you, the last time that Mars was in Scorpio was October 12th through November 24th of 2023. So just like Venus, we're also looking back 2 years, mid-October to the last third of November 2023. During this transit, we can expect amplified passion, so feeling extra passionate about understanding. So again, that's the truth-seeking, understanding, uncovering, also intuition component of Scorpio, understanding, transforming. Scorpio is like, I will look into the depths. I am unafraid. I will transform on the other side, oftentimes through healing. So fearlessly healing in this specific area of life. So when you look at your chart and you check for the degrees 0 to 29 of Scorpio, check which houses are in there. That is an area where we are able to take action to get things done in that area of life, as well as to connect to our intuition, to have a deeper understanding of ourselves, what is going on around us, to transform, be willing to, again, start new things, but start the transformation, start the healing process. And so we could be applying healing to that area. Maybe there's something that is in need of healing. So now we're going to push forward and we're going to do it. Misty, I was choosing my recovery path at that time 2 years ago. No kidding. So you were in an era of healing. So choosing it, the choice, saying, okay, I'm going to do this now. That's very Mars. So this could be another era of healing that's happening again. Like, what's the next layer when you peel back the onion? So of course, we want to look at which houses are in this sign to say, okay, well, what's something you could start? What's something you can move the needle on? Scorpio in the first house. So that would be taking action, potentially towards healing. Oh, that's so interesting. If you're saying it was your recovery, being in the first house, because it's like, but who are you? How are you, like, what's your relationship with yourself? How are you taking action to shift who it is that you are? If you're saying, I'm going to go on this path of recovery, you have to make that choice. I'm someone who is recovering. Like you have the identity shift of like, this is the person I'm going to be now, and then taking the action to do that. So that does totally align. So separately, again, if you are doing additional healing as relates to who you are as an individual, healing your relationship with yourself in some capacity. Separately, you also could be taking action on things that put you at the forefront, that change your labels, that change how you identify yourself to others. Multi-hyphenate kind of situation, adding some of those on and taking the initiative to make those into a reality so that you can transform who it is that you are and how you are sharing and introducing yourself. I'll share for me. I have Scorpio in my 5th house, and the 5th house is about creativity. It's about play, children, dating, self-expression. So different than the communication houses, because you're strictly just like, I'm sharing this information, but this is expressing. So this can be presented in a lot of different ways. And of course, if you produce something, if you create something, design something, write something, whatever it is, then it's like the sharing that's folding in as well. So I haven't even really thought this far ahead. So I have no idea what this might look like for me. And I would be curious to look back as well. But what are things that I could initiate? What are things that I could, if I want to harness this energy, because I don't really know, like, what's the project I might be working on? Like, what's something that I might want to be doing at this time? That being said, I already know, we've already talked about this, that I am working on an offering, and this does overlap. In addition to Venus moving through my communication house, which makes sense with the project that I'm working on, this is maybe folding in the creativity. So maybe what I could do is I could save some of the design work for September 22nd on for that leg of me working on this project, because this is going to be supporting that design, that initiation, that taking action, that working quickly to create what it is that I need for the offering. So of course, this is one very specific example, but it also could be in other areas of life. Maybe I'm returning some different hobbies or trying to find more ways to infuse fun in my life, and, not working, not working as much, which I try to work on anyway, work on it. Something that I am trying to improve in my life anyway. So this could be a really helpful boost. And of course, it's 5 weeks, which is a significant portion of time, and longer than, for this example, longer than I would need to release this product, which means I'll have several weeks afterwards where I can harness this for something else. 7th house, and I'm a Scorpio too. So you're going to want to watch for when Mars hits your sun. So I would definitely use one of the tracking tools, move that dial ahead to whatever degree your sun is. So make sure that you know the exact degree and minute. See when Mars is approaching it, when it's 5 degrees out, the day that it's hitting it. You could do 5 degrees after, so you can give yourself a window of when it's in the orb. But definitely just at the minimum, know the day that they are conjoining. That will give you a little extra color because your sun is representing your purpose. It's representing your ego. So it could be an activation of, well, this is how I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this, and this is really important to me. That type of really, really passionate energy about not even just the short-term action of whatever it is that you're doing over these 5 weeks, but just it's representing something that feels bigger for you. And that's the time when you're going to really feel that and want to be pushing it. Now, because we're talking about the 7th house, that is layering in relationships. And of course, when you have the sun, which is representing the self, and it's in the house of relationships, Mars, which is the ruler also of Aries, which represents the individual, you have a very strong interplay happening with who you are as an individual versus who you are in a relationship. It could be a day when you are striking out, kind of wanting to be independent on that day. You're taking action because it's like it's activating your sun, you as the individual, regardless of what's happening in your relationships. So a few different manifestations that are possible. Again, you could plan for them. You could try to harness it in a very specific way, or just kind of ride it out and see which way your energy takes you. Scorpio's in my 11th house. So this is taking action in healing, deeply understanding, finding the truth or recognizing the lies within your community, social media, very topical, your friend circle. So the people that you interact with, it could be in a club, some organization, a group that you identify with, a party that you are in, and also just like your immediate friends, like how you're getting along with them. Taking action on, maybe you want to find new friends. Maybe you want to join a group. And maybe the group has to do with Scorpio themes. It's a group about connecting, understanding people, finding the truth, healing. So that is a possibility, not a requirement. Up to you, whatever your vibe is. Mars moving through your 4th house is taking action on 4th house themes, which are houses. So maybe you're like, I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to put an offer down. I'm going to redecorate. I am going to connect to my ancestry. That could be family members, spending time with family. It could be researching. That's very Scorpio. Researching your family ancestry, uncovering the secrets, uncovering the truth of your family lineage. You could also find that just through conversations with family members. Those are kind of the number one things I would think. It's like, oh my gosh, having a Mars and Scorpio 4th house transit and like uncovering something dramatic about your family history, that would be so on par. But if not, it could be, if we're talking about houses as an example, or your sense of home or where it is that you're living, it also could be uncovering something. You take action and then you maybe uncover something about the house, like, oh gosh, there's a leak, or it's like maybe you take an impulsive action to fix something, like I can fix this, so I'm going to do it, and then you could uncover something that might be an issue. You never know. So lots and lots of different options for 4th house. Samantha, appreciate you. I appreciate you. You're my favorite astrologer and insight timer. I just love how you hold these classes and discuss it. Thank you. And you're welcome. And like I said, I appreciate when people actually sit here on these classes for so long because they know we'll go on tangents. We'll go on tangents. I am talking about a lot of transits and things that are happening, but that's another reason why the calendar and companion tool that I'm working on is definitely going to be a really great resource to not supplement, because I'll still do these classes, but it'll be a really great resource to kind of have, me in your pocket, if you will, because I'm writing out everything. I'll just say this as well, just for everybody's reference. I never use AI to write or create anything for my website, for any of my offerings. I always write it myself. It comes from my own brain or my own research, my own words. That's really important for me, or also my own channeling. Sometimes I write and it's coming from channeling, and I'm like, I don't know why I need to add this word, but I guess I'm supposed to add this, and I put it in there. If you do like these classes, tangents and all, they'll have like a kind of cleaned up version, but way to kind of access a little bit of my brain in your calendar as 2026 progresses. So I am looking forward to that. I'm also like laughing at myself as I write some of these, thinking, okay, I'm going to have to read this as me. So for some of them, I put in like Renee, like channeled this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, it's going to be funny when I read it for myself, but like, whatever. I had to write in the third person because I felt weird writing an I, like I channeled this, because then it's confusing because you're reading it. So I wrote it as me. It's amazing and rare these days. I totally appreciate the work that you do. Oh, thank you, Misty. Yeah, I'll say this as well. I'm getting like a channeling on this at the same time, but it feels like it's really, really important for whatever reason. Like the integrity of it feels like viscerally, like it's so essential that I do this. I don't fully understand in the context of now why, other than my logical brain, but like it feels like it's more significant than just, a choice that I've made, that I want to make sure that I am actually writing everything. But that's also why sometimes it takes me a little bit to get things done, because if I'm tired and my brain's not functioning, then I'm like, I can't write right now, and my energy fluctuates a lot because I'm moon ruled. So that that's why when I see these forecasts that we have energetically, I go, oh great, like these could be really supportive to help me continue to get this project done, which of course I want to do and I'm motivated to do, but it doesn't mean that my body cooperates with what my mind wants to do. And reminder, if you want to request any classes for October, send me a message, because it is just early enough to not have my schedule in place. So if you submit a request, I might actually be able to do it.